It is a rather peculiar thing, isn't it? You spend years trying to wake up. You read the books, you meditate, you change your diet, and you dissect your childhood. You do all of this because you want to feel more alive, more connected, more peaceful. And yet, lately, you feel less. Have you noticed this strange phenomenon? You aren't necessarily sad, you aren't panicked. It is something far more disorienting. You feel a profound, quiet detachment. You look at your friends, your job, even your own family, and it feels like you are watching a movie you've seen 1,000 times before. You know exactly what they are going to say. You know exactly how the scene ends. The drama that used to pull you in now just feels exhausting. It's as if you have walked backstage in the middle of a theater play. You see the ropes, the pulleys, the painted cardboard trees. And now that you have seen the machinery, you cannot unsee it. You cannot go back to believing the play is real. So you just float. You go through the motions. You smile when you are supposed to smile. You laugh when the script calls for a laugh. But behind your eyes, there is a silence. A vast, empty distance between you and the world. And in the quiet of your own room, late at night, a terrifying thought creeps in. You think, I have ruined my life. You think that by seeking the truth, you have accidentally detached yourself from everything that makes life human. You feel like an alien studying a species you no longer belong to. You wonder if you have simply analyzed your own joy out of existence. You feel the weight of this isolation in your chest. It's not a sharp pain. It's a dull, heavy ache. It is the exhaustion of the seeker who has climbed to the top of the mountain, only to find that the peak is covered in fog, and there is nowhere left to go. You might be asking yourself, where is the bliss I was promised? Where is the ecstasy? Why does enlightenment feel so much like boredom? Listen to me very closely, because this is the most important thing you will hear today. You are not broken. You are not depressed in the clinical sense. And you have not made a mistake. You have not taken a wrong turn on the path. This numbness, this feeling of being a ghost in your own life, it is not a sign of failure. It is a symptom of altitude. You are experiencing this because you have successfully peeled away the layers of illusion, but you haven't yet put anything in their place. You are standing in the void between two worlds. You have left the old world, the world of sleepwalking, of chasing status, of believing the drama, but you have not yet entered the new one. Most people get to this exact spot and they panic. They think they have lost their minds. So they run back. They try to force themselves to care about things they no longer care about. They try to unknow what they know. But you cannot go back. The sweater has been unraveled. You cannot knit it back together with the same wool. But what if this isn't the end? What if this coldness isn't the death of your emotional life, but the winter before the spring? What if the very reason you feel like you are losing your grip on reality is simply because you are trying to hold on to a version of reality that never existed in the first place? You think you are at the end of the road, but you are actually just at the gate. The final stage isn't the numbness. The final stage is what happens when you stop being afraid of it. Let's look at why you feel this way. And to do that, we have to talk about the game. You see, society, the world out there, with its billboards, its career ladders, and its unending news cycle, is operating under a form of mutual hypnosis. It is a collective dream that we have all agreed to keep dreaming. And the main rule of this dream is very simple. You must pretend that you are a person. Now, that sounds obvious. Of course I am a person, you say. But the word person comes from the Latin word persona, which literally means mask. It was the megaphone mask, worn by actors in ancient theater, so their voices could project to the back of the room. Society is a masquerade ball, where everyone has forgotten they are wearing a mask. They have glued the mask to their face so tightly that they believe the painted smile is their real mouth. They believe the game is real. They believe that if they get the promotion, or the new car, or the perfect relationship, they will finally arrive. They are running on a treadmill, convinced they are going somewhere. The reason you feel so strange, so alienated, is because your glue has stopped working. You are walking through a world of actors who are deeply committed to their roles. But you have seen the script. You see them getting angry over things that don't matter. You see them chasing shadows. And because you can't force yourself to take it seriously anymore, you feel like a fraud. But here is the trap. Because you feel this separation, you try to fix it. You tell yourself, I need to engage more. I need to force myself to care. You try to push yourself back into the illusion. And this is where the suffering comes from. It is the classic double bind. It is the headache you give yourself by trying to cure your headache. Trying to force yourself to feel connected when you see through the illusion is like trying to smooth out the ripples in a pond with a flat iron. The harder you press down to flatten the water, the more disturbance you create. You are anxious because you are trying not to be anxious. You are lonely because you are trying to force a connection. You are caught in a loop. You are like a dog chasing its own tail. The faster you run, the faster the tail moves away. You think if you just run a little bit faster, you will catch it and finally be happy. But you cannot catch your own tail, because it is part of you. So, let's flip the script. What if this feeling of not fitting in is actually a sign of health? Imagine you are a child who has been playing with a specific toy for years. You loved that toy. It was your whole world. But one day, you look at it, and it's just plastic. It's small. It doesn't hold the same magic. You haven't lost your ability to play. You have simply outgrown the toy. The discomfort you feel right now is not a regression. It is an evolution. You are like a lobster that has to shed its shell to grow. When a lobster casts off its old hard shell, it is left soft, squishy, and incredibly vulnerable. It has to hide under a rock for a while until the new shell hardens. Right now you are naked. You have cast off the shell of the social self, but your universal self hasn't grown in yet. You don't feel this way because you are less than the people around you. You feel this way because you are seeing more than them. You aren't broken. You are just the only sober person at a very loud, very drunk party. Of course you feel out of place. But this brings us to the terrifying question. If you aren't the mask, and you aren't the role you've been playing, then who exactly are you? If we strip away your name, your job, your history, and your body, what is left? Let's go deeper. There is a specific hallucination that almost everyone in the West suffers from. It is the hallucination that you are a skin-encapsulated ego. You feel like a little pilot inside your own head. You are located somewhere behind your eyes and between your ears. You look out at the world and you think, I am in here, and the world is out there.